Hello, and welcome to the second Feed the Beast tutorial. Today we should be talking about energy, BuildCraft energy to be precise, not industrial craft energy. We'll talk about that later. Now what you see in front of you are engines. Engines are BuildCraft's main and pretty much only way of generating energy. Engines run off a variety of sources from nothing, like this redstone engine, to huge steam boilers. Now, I'll tell you how to transport your energy, how to store your energy, how to make your energy grids more efficient, and how to produce your energy. Now, we shall start with a redstone engine. Redstone engines don't do anything. As I mentioned in an earlier episode, redstone engines don't blow up, but they produce very little power, so they're very good for making items go out of wooden pipes. Next, we have the steam engine. Now, Stirling engines. They originally were called steam engines. Now, Stirling engines run off anything that's burnable. They'll run off anything that can be burned. As you see, I've just turned this on. You can see a little bit of light going through into here. And that's how you can tell that you're producing energy. Now, a steam engine will eventually blow up, but it uses coal. And charcoal is very cheap sometimes. Now, as you can see here, a Stirling engine at its beginning state will make 1 megajoule. Eventually, it'll elevate to about 2 or 3 megajoules. And of course, you can turn engines on and off with redstone signal. The next engine we have is the combustion engine. Now, combustion engine needs 2 things. The combustion engine is a very powerful engine, but it has the problem of overheating. Now, the reason there are 2 tanks here is because there's one for coolant and one for fuel. Now, for the fuel, you can either use biofuel or fuel. Fuel is refined or oil or lava. Each type of fuel produces a different amount of EU. Lava cans produce the least, and fuel cans produce the most. Now, you find oil naturally generated in the world. You refine it into fuel. Biofuel is refined from biomass, which you generate from plant matter and saplings and sugar canes in a fermenter. And then there's lava, and you know what lava is. Now you can just put some fuel of some sort into the engine and run it, but then eventually it will overheat and blow up and leave a huge crater in your world or in your huge factory complex, and we don't want that, do we? So the people in BuildCraft gladly added 2 types of cooling. In vanilla BuildCraft, your only option is water. However, combustion engines drain water very, very quickly. So, the forestry creator, Sir Sengir, provided an alternate, ice cans, which are much more efficient but are much more expensive. Now let's run this guy and see what we get. As you can see the stream of energy into here again. Strangely, one of the bugs right now is that combustion engines don't turn off and then don't turn on again. Their highest output running on refined oil right now is 5, but in the next BuildCraft version it will be bumped up to 6. Next, we'll move on to forestry engines. First engine and the most reliable engine, a favorite among many, is the biogas engine. The biogas engine can run on anything. It can run on biomass, it can run on water if you wanted it to. For this demonstration purposes, we'll use biomass. To start the engine, you need to warm it up with lava. Now, if you were to run this engine with water, it would keep consuming lava, but with biomass, it just needs to heat up, and then it won't consume anymore. As you can see by this progress bar. And now we have a producing biogas engine. As you can see, all those other engines were only running in the blue state, but as they heat up and get more and more efficient, they change colors. Biogas engines, however, automatically become green. Next, we have the peat engines. Now, peat engines can be run with peat or bituminous peat, and they produce a waste product, ash. Biogas engines produce about 5 megajoules per tick. Peat-fired engines produce 1 at first and then slowly heat up. And while we're waiting for this guy to heat up, why don't we talk about the electrical engine? The electrical engine is one of the few engines that can be upgraded using soldering and electrical sockets. It's powered by industrial craft power, and it produces... We have to wait for it to heat up. It produces 0 megajoules at first, and slowly heats up. As you can see, we can see the little blue range. Peat fire engine's still at 1, so it's starting as a 1, but I can say it could reach up to 2, 3, 4, or 4. Electrical engines can go all the way up to 6, that is if you upgrade them. I'll talk about upgrading later. Over here we have the steam engines. Now steam engines, they run on steam, which has to be generated in huge boilers like this. There are 3 types of steam engines. First, there's the hobbyist steam engine, which can be run off water or it can be run off steam. The hobbyist steam engine, if you're going to run it off water, it requires fuel to heat it into steam. Let's see it go. In the next stage, we have the commercial steam engine, which also takes in steam. However, you cannot boil your own steam inside of a commercial steam engine. You must use one of these boilers. And it's much better than this guy over here. Over here we have the big boy, the industrial steam engine. It requires very, very expensive materials such as steel to make. But it's also the most powerful of all the engines. Now checking on this guy, right now he's at 2 megajoules. He's at 2, but he'll eventually eat up to about 6. And this guy's max capacity is, wait for it, 8. As you can see, we're generating a good amount of energy here, and it's being sucked up into my main core system. Over here we have the 2 engines from thermal expansion, steam engine and magmatic engine. Let's try the magmatic engine. Let's put the items in. Magmatic engines run off lava.
Are these red?
Yes, Pokemon Shred.
Farted.
They include a special feature in which when used with these redstone energy conduits, can adjust and decrease depending on what the environment needs. We'll talk about that later too. Now the steam engine, it's very different from the other steam engines. It requires water and some sort of internal heating. Now also, like the other thermal expansion engine, it can also respond to the network and change the amount of fuel and water it consumes. As you can see, we've got this guy, he's at 6 megajoules. I was wrong.
No, if you use biofuel, it might be different. Try using biofuel in the combustion engine. You'll be surprised.
Now, what you can see here are these conductive pipes. They're crafted with a pipe in redstone. Golden conductive pipes are much more efficient than these stone electric pipes, but I figured I would use conductive pipes. But I figured I would use them. To transmit power into the network, just like transmitting items in the network, you have to use a wooden conductive pipe. Now there is a much more efficient way of doing this, and that is using the redstone energy conduit. Redstone
conduits are much more expensive.
Yeah, they are much more expensive. They require
cost a lot of
redstone energy conduct
poopy.
Can be changed like this
Poop.
to face in or out. So if you have some sort of storage cell, you can make it so it only outputs into the system. Same with the engines. Also, engines connected to this network will actually decrease and increase the amount of energy they produce. And you can create intricate power networks with these redstone energy cells, which store energy. And that about wraps up this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.